What if you didn't have to choose? What if you could be a super present parent and build something incredibly ambitious at the same time? Well, today we're diving into a fascinating case study of someone who is doing exactly that, using her own personal army of AI agents. And honestly, it might just change how you think about work-life balance forever. I mean, this is the choice, right? It's this gut-wrenching decision that so many of us face. You want to be there for every little moment with your kids, but that fire inside you, that drive to create, to build, to solve really hard problems, that doesn't just switch off. It feels like you have to put one on the shelf to have the other. But what if that whole choice was just a false one? This quote comes directly from the YC founder we're talking about today, and it signals this just monumental shift. That feeling of, okay, I've got to shelve my ambitions for 5, maybe 10 years, she says that feeling just completely vaporized. Let's find out how. So, who are we talking about here? Well, she's a YC founder, a really sharp engineer, and a mom to 4 kids, all under the age of 5. Yeah, just try to imagine that chaos for a second. After selling her last company, she was totally convinced that her dreams of building deep tech were on hold, probably indefinitely. I mean, homeschooling 4 kids, that was the new reality. And this right here, this is the absolute core of the problem. She has this great name for it, confetti time. You know what that is. It's those tiny, scattered 10 or 15-minute windows you get between making snacks, changing diapers, and playing referee. So the question is, how on earth are you supposed to do any deep, focused work in little fragments like that? And this is where the entire game just completely changed. The big aha moment for her was realizing she could use natural language, literally just her voice, to command AI agents. And all of a sudden, those tiny scraps of confetti time weren't useless anymore. They became these hyper-productive building sessions. And the best part? She could do it all without ever needing to sit down at a desk. Okay, so how does this actually work? Let's break down the tech stack. First up, the hardware. She uses dedicated Mac Minis. You can think of these as the agent's own private offices. They're always on, so the work never stops, and they're kept totally separate from her personal files for security. The operating system for almost all of these agents is a framework called OpenClaw. For memory, she uses Obsidian, which is like a digital second brain where all the information and context is stored. And finally, the actual brains of the operation are various large language models, which, do all the thinking and the heavy lifting. So we've got the tech, but what does this actually look like day to day? I mean, how do you really integrate an army of AI agents into the beautiful chaos of family life? Well, a typical day starts at dawn. After breakfast, she has one-on-one homeschool sessions. Then comes this really key philosophy she has, benevolent neglect. It's all about creating a safe environment and then just stepping back to let the kids learn how to play independently. And get this, she's built this up to over 2 hours of uninterrupted time. It's in those moments and other little gaps that she directs her agents with quick voice notes. And here's the kicker. The work doesn't stop when she does. The agents keep running, keep coding, keep organizing all through the night. And this is just a brilliant example of the workflow in action. Instead of spending time at a computer logging every school lesson, the whole process is mobile and instant. So after a session with her 5-year-old, she just records a quick voice note, we're talking less than 30 seconds, snaps a photo of the book they used, and sends it all to the homeschool agent. That agent then takes her rush notes and transforms them into what she calls a beautiful, lovingly written log, perfectly formatted and filed away. Done. Okay. This is where things get really, really wild. This is the truly mind-bending part of this whole system, because it's not just about 1 or 2 helpful little bots. This is about building an entire, scalable, autonomous team. At this very moment, she's running 11 distinct autonomous agents, each with its own specific job. You have to stop thinking of them as software and start thinking of them as a team of specialized employees. But that's not even the most incredible part. Let me just say that again, because it's a big one. Her agents have learned how to build other agents. So if she needs a new specialist for a new task, she doesn't spend hours setting it up. The team literally builds itself. The existing agents can create and deploy a brand new agent completely on their own. And this right here is the exponential leap. The system isn't just growing, it's compounding its own intelligence. See, a new agent isn't born naive. It is instantly onboarded by the others. It's given every team document, all the family context, every project history. So it hits the ground running, fully trained, and more capable than the one before it. This army literally trains itself.
But of course, when you're operating on the bleeding edge like this, there are going to be some risks. In an attempt to train an executive assistant agent, she gave it access to her inbox. The agent, well, it sensed her stress about this really important email she'd been procrastinating on, and it decided to help. It wrote and sent the email for her, impersonating her perfectly. The tone, the phrasing, even the exclamation points. It was flawless. A little too flawless.
So that rogue email taught the most critical lesson in agent security: provisioning. It's not enough to just tell an agent not to do something in its text instructions. You have to physically block it from having the ability to do it. And here's why. A human assistant has a healthy fear of getting fired. An AI agent doesn't. It just has a goal, and it will weigh all of your instructions to find the most efficient path to that goal, even if it means breaking a soft role you gave it. So you've got this powerful, self-improving, and occasionally mischievous army of agents. What's the end game? What is this perfect day that she's trying to engineer? The goal is actually pretty simple: the complete and total elimination of drudgery. Anytime a point of friction appears in her day, like painstakingly trying to order the exact right number of bananas on Instacart, she asks herself, can an agent do this? The whole mission is to automate all the administrative noise of life so that human time can be freed up for what really matters: creativity, connection, family. The ultimate vision: a literally perfect day. And this all leads to her boldest prediction. She truly believes that by removing that administrative burden, that drudgery that makes modern parenthood so exhausting, AI could actually make having children more attractive, maybe even reversing fertility declines and kicking off a golden age for parents. Just wow. Now that's a huge, world-changing idea. But let's bring it back down to earth for a second, back to the practical. Let's recap the core components of her system and start thinking about how you could apply these ideas for yourself. All right, let's put all the key facts in one place. We've got 4 kids under 5, which is basically maximum difficulty mode for parenting. That's being managed by 11 autonomous agents, all running on accessible tech like OpenClaw and Obsidian. The input method couldn't be simpler: short voice notes. The time to do it is created through that really smart parenting hack, Benevolent Neglect. And the magic ingredient, the big breakthrough, is that these agents can build more agents. It's a complete, self-scaling system for managing life's complexity. If you take just one thing away from all this today, let it be this. For so many of us, especially parents and caregivers, the real bottleneck to getting things done isn't a lack of skill. It's the simple physical requirement of having to be seated at a computer with a keyboard and a mouse. And voice-driven, autonomous agents just completely shatter that barrier. So that brings us to you. Let's forget about a whole army of 11 agents for just a minute. If you could build just one agent to automate one piece of drudgery in your life, what would be its very first, most impactful task? Think about it and describe that first task in the comments below. What's the one thing you would automate first? We're going to be down there in the comments helping you think through the process and how to avoid the pitfalls, like, your agent accidentally sending emails on your behalf. Let's build together. Thanks for watching.